Basedemoto here. Today we're going to be reviewing Chasing Tales, A Promise in the Snow. Flat Chest Dev decided to hook you boy up with some keys, so I'm going to be taking a look at this game. Let's get into it. I ended up having more fun than I thought I would. You kind of just see like a visual novel and think to yourself, ugh, it's a visual novel, but Chasing Tales, it was enjoyable. Chasing Tales is a Yuri comedy horror that doesn't take itself too seriously. This is the first time that I've played a visual novel that has no other like gameplay aspects, like, you know, no puzzle matching, no JRPG sideline story. So I was a little bit skeptical to do so, but it wasn't a bad experience. Chasing Tales follows June, who moves to a small town after something happens and she just needs to relocate. She later starts to realize that there's paranormal things happening in the house that she lives in. Rin, who notices that the house is cursed, starts following June and they become fast friends. Maybe something more as they discover what's going on in the house. As of this review, I've done about 3 routes. I'm just so bad at these kind of games. After getting the 4th ending, I kind of felt like the game, like, you know, I wasn't too enthusiastic about going back. But after I got the 2nd ending, I was like, yo, this might be onto something. It like made me, like, even though it was a bad ending, I was like, yo, this kind of lit. It really pulled me in and made me a fan. June is literally the worst piece of shit. I hate her. She's a paranoid, self-absorbed psycho. Rin should be protected at all times. She is an absolute pure cinnamon bun, and she just wants to uphold her family name and do the right thing. She's just a good girl. Kumi doesn't get a lot of time compared to June and Rin. You know, she exists. This story doesn't really set up for her to get too much characterization from what I've seen. You know, maybe it's in those other routes, but not from what I saw. The art, the character design, the CGs slap. Like, I mean, even the chibi art looks really good. The backgrounds, they look, you know, as well as you can do with a visual novel. Like, how do you make that insanely interesting? It's a background. The music is really good, especially when you get like an ending of the games. The only problem I had was that the music sort of like loops, but it starts to track over again rather than just like an endless loop. The sound effects are a little overused. They probably should have had a bigger library. So being a Yuri horror comedy with like H-game elements, it's a lot and it has some trouble balancing all of these aspects. Like the Yuri kind of comes out of nowhere, but like, yeah, I guess. The horror is random, which is good, and that's heavily amplified by the timed choices. You really need that. The comedy is very hit or miss. It has some, like, there was some points where I did laugh, but it didn't seem like there was enough comedy to really call it a comedy. It could be off-putting at some points. The Yuri aspect, which is like, I mean, I'm not the biggest Yuri fan, but it kind of did feel forced with how f***ing awful the main character is. June is so standoffish. Like, you're gonna tell me she treats you like a bitch like the whole game, and you just in love. Like, come on. Now for the final rating. I'm gonna give Chasing Tales a 6 out of 10. It wasn't a bad experience, but it could have been just a bit better. I did have fun with it, and I'd love to see what else is in store next. Thank you, Flat Chest Dev, for allowing me to play your game and review it. Chasing Tales, A Promise in the Snow is available on Steam for the low price of, I think it's about $8. I'd say give it a chance. Like, it might be something you enjoy. Thanks, guys, for watching. Basedemoto out. Nah, thank you for watching. I f***ed up. So I didn't realize that there was an 18+ patch for Chasing Tales, which I don't know how that went over my head. Like, in the current state of Steam, everything's just like naughty, so like I didn't really think about it. So I'm like, where's all the hentai? Where's the hentai? The H aspect of the game, like, it changes the lopsided nature of the game and makes it so much more enjoyable. You know, June's still a piece of shit, but after replaying the game, the H aspect of the game has bumped my score up from a 6 out of 10 to a 7 out of 10. I didn't expect it to change that much, but there's a lot more dialogue and just more substance. It makes the story feel more whole. Anyways, thanks for watching. Basedemoto out. Basedemoto here. If you've made it this far in the video, I'm sure you like the content. Maybe consider supporting us over on Patreon, and you may be able to pick the next video.